Stories told with pure intention. Every voice gets full attention. Building trust without contention. Stronger through our connection. From La Videa to the diaspora. No gimmicks, just real data. Transparency is our mantra. Shining bright like an aurora. We are the voice you can believe in. Through the airwaves we keep giving.
Again, I'm your host. My name is Derek Yale, and let's get started. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining us from. Let me say welcome to the Liberia Radio and Television Network. The Liberia Radio and Television Network is a local media institution right here in Northeast Philadelphia, where we do our broadcasting from, and we have our office open in Liberia for business. You can find us on Facebook at LRTN Live, on Facebook at LRTN Live, on Instagram at LRTN_215, on YouTube at the Liberia Radio and Television Network. My name is Derek Yale, and tonight I will be playing host to another episode of The Hard Zone. That is episode 94. And if this is your first time being here, The Hard Zone is an opinion-based talk show where we feature a team of panelists from different political institutions, different political persuasions. So please do us a favor and make sure you're following this network on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And also make sure you're staying engaged with this podcast because we have a good one coming up for you. And speaking of which, let me give you the recent development that we're going to be following on this show today, on this episode. So this week, the senator from Osirado County, Liberia, proposed a remittance bill where he will, as it has, encourage or propose a bill in mandating diaspora Liberian or dollar fees for every transaction sent to Liberia. And that proposal had sparked a lot of debate in Liberia and in the diaspora. So we will have our panelists here opining on that debate as to whether that remittance fees proposal is necessary for the diaspora community. It also pivoting just here locally in the U.S. this week, actually last week, the Liberia Community Association of Central New Jersey and the metropolitan area completed its first and only debate for the upcoming elections. There has been a lot of controversy surrounding the elections and now the debate, but we will have our panelists briefly opine on our local politics here. And lastly, we are just under a month, a little over 21 days for the FIFA World Cup. So that is a tournament that brings together 48 teams to compete for the highest trophy in the football world. With that being said, let me say welcome back to the Liberia Radio and Television Network. When we come back, we will introduce our panelists for this episode and show. But again, my name is Derek Yade. I'm going to be playing host. Welcome back to The Hard Zone. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Again, it's episode 94 of The Hard Zone. My name is Derek Yale. I am going to be playing host and moderator here tonight. So stay with me for the next hour, 30 minutes, and let's have some good conversations on the topics that were introduced in our introductory segment of this show. With that being said, let me now encourage all of you to please make sure you're following this network. Make sure you're sharing this program on your individual social media pages. Now let's pivot to welcoming our panelists back, our panelists for this episode. Let's have them back on the screen, and then we get the ball rolling. I'd like to start with you, Dr. Ben Sika. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, thank you, Jared.
I see the last time you were here, you sparked some controversy, but we'll get back to that. We have some conversation to get in tonight. But again, welcome back to the show. Now let's go on to Mr. Alan Giwe. Mr. Giwe, welcome to the show. Mr. Giwe, can you hear us? Mr. Giwe, I don't know if you're getting my audio, but anyway, while Mr. Giwe tried to work on his connections, let's get you. Let's welcome you to the show, Mr. Martin Porter.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Derek. Can you hear to my fellow panelists? I know I'm driving and I'm aware of my phone, so but I'll be in touch.
Thank you very much. I hope you are doing so very safely, as I do not encourage driving and talking about the Unity Party administration. Anyways, welcome back to the show. Mr. Giwe, let's come back to you. I don't know if you're hearing us now, but I'd like to welcome you back to episode 94 of the Hot Zone. Mr. Giwe, can you hear us? I think we lost Mr. Giwe. But as we go with Mr. Giwe, you got to listen to the introductory part of this program. We brought up I'm sure you guys have followed the proposal from Oswego County Senator, Dr. Senator DeLong. And also, I don't know if you guys followed our local politics here in the Central Jersey and the metropolitan area. There is a very critical elections coming up. But before I continue, Mr. Sika, I see you have your hand raised.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay. Yes, we have a very critical election coming up here in Central Jersey and the metropolitan area. That is the election of the Liberian Community Association of Central Jersey and the metropolitan area. And just last Sunday, they completed their first and I believe only debate. And there has been some controversy surrounding the elections in its entirety. And there has been some positive and negative feedback from the just ended debate. So if you guys have been following that, I would like to get your opinion on that. But before we begin anything, let's talk about the most anticipated tournament, regardless of what part of the world you're from. We know about the World Cup coming up that will be hosted here in the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. We're 21 days away from that. Just to gear us up for our conversation later, what are you guys anticipating? I'd like for you guys to speak on that before we get into our conversation at hand. Dr. Sika?
I think, thank you, sir. I think it's a welcoming event that they're going to be having in the U.S. The U.S., Canada, and Mexico, I think, sharing the whole thing. So I think the president, they had, I think, a 5,000 price hike for people that were planning to come to watch the games and stuff like that. I think the president scratched it out the other day. And so I think many people will come and they try to relax more restriction so that people can come to the event. I know it's going to be a device in many ways, but the fact that somebody want to come to watch it live and the government try to relax some of the restrictions, I think that's a welcoming strategy. So we'll follow it, and I don't know the detail of it about how many teams are coming. I understand that the teams are being increased from I think 32 teams to another number. So we're going to follow it and see. But that's my take on for now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gilbert. We will have you now with the audio. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, brother Derek.
I understand from let me just put it this way: words on the street, that you're not just a unity partisan. You no longer support the unity party, but you're not identified as a nationalist. Do you care to clarify that?
The situations about Liberia, we are Liberia, and if we see the Oakley thing, we have to talk about it.
All you have to do is just clarify your position. Do you support Joseph Boakai and Unity Party, or you now, or as it is on the street, you are nationalist?
I support Joseph Boakai when he does good thing in Liberia.
So we'll fine tuning our position now. Yeah.
Well, right now, I know that Boakai, some of the things that he's doing, I have to commend him for doing that, because the previous presidents, we did not see some of the things that we have seen today. Look at Douala.
We got. I'm just trying to get your position here, Mr. Gilway. I understand there are a lot to talk about. The man's doing absolutely nothing. A lot of Liberians holds that position. We don't want you to educate us on that. But I just want to clarify your position here, because I thought you was like Unity Party supporter, fully good or bad. But now if you're fine tuning it, we understand, because it was on the street. You are a nationalist. I just want that clarification.
Let me say that when I was coming up, 1985, I voted for Liberian Action Party. Since then, I have not voted in Liberia.
The last time you voted for President
No. 2017, I voted for Bernard Ayuri because I read on his ticket, and I supported him for some reason. Yes. But since then, I'm still not yet, quote unquote, registered political partisan for any party. So far, any guy or political party that will come to do good in Liberia, I support you, because of Liberian people are suffering.
Oh, thank you. We're not going to take 30 minutes to have you just commit to a political party you supported on previous episode. But again, it's very telling that you cannot, just simply say I support or do not support the party. And I definitely understand. Given how the administration is going right now, it's very difficult for people to take a definite position on them. So again, we'll leave that. But let's go back. Let's go to Mr. Martin Boda. You don't have to, rebuttal to this or give any feedback. We understand you're Unity partisan. Your support have to change, good or bad. You stand with Unity Party in the trenches or not. But let's get you back to the World Cup conversation. World Cup is in a little over 21 days. Tell us what you think, Mr. Boda.
I think it's a good thing. The World Cup bring unity to the world. The only situation that is impeding to the situation in the World Cup is the Liberian. Sorry. The World Cup, people are afraid to come to America based on our immigration, the kind of immigration policy that has been put in place by the current government. That is going to affect a lot of activities, because in the local Philadelphia area, the hotels, businesses are anticipating to get guests. But the news that we're hearing from these environments is kind of not impressive about people booking hotel, restaurant, and all that kind of stuff. So, but we look forward to see what happens in the next 21 days. But it's a good idea. It's a good thing. It's a united world. It brings fun. And we anticipate to see the World Cup in our hometown, Philadelphia, and the United States.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you brought up some of the controversies surrounding the World Cup being hosted, especially here in the United States. I would like to build on that, but let's hear from Mr. Gilway on his anticipation of the World Cup in a little over 21 days. Mr. Gilway.
I wholeheartedly welcome the World Cup to be in my own state, Pennsylvania, because 1994, I think it was there in Atlanta, Georgia, and that brought actually development.
That was Olympic.
That was the Olympic.
That was Olympic.
Yeah, that was Olympic. I'm sorry. But that brought Well, that Olympic brought development in Atlanta, Georgia. We see the road network, the hotels, and other facility was built for that. So I believe that bring World Cup in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, they would be the greatest team ever in the city. Economy-wise, people will be able to generate funds and allowing the other neighboring country or international people to come. That would bring in more money into this state. So if the president said that you're going to restrain or limit people of entry in America, I feel that he just want to drop the people that want to come have a good habit or how to come and witness this festival in Pennsylvania. He's just going to drop them away.
Thank you. What do you think should happen as far as the issue Mr. Boda brought up as far as immigration to allow people to participate in the World Cup, whether it is playing for a team or it is just watching the game some of the games in person? What do you think? What do you look to happen? Dr. Ben-Sika, let me hear your thoughts on this.
So I think Trump is a Highlander, and so the and some level of politics is in the process as well. So Trump is not targeting the fan of the World Cup fans that are trying to come here. That is not the case. In fact, I was just reading something here. They try to relax the restriction that they have for them. So they're not a target. Most of the people that are coming to the FIFA World Cup, I don't think they're coming to stay here. So the immigration policy does not 100% apply to them. The visa bond for which was a 15,000 World Cup something, it been waived, it been dropped. I just read that from Al Jazeera. That particular amount has been dropped. So obviously people have the chance to come to attend. So I don't want us to blink the whole thing with our national immigration process that is going on for those that are not supposed to be here and that are here. And the president is making an effort to get them out versus people that are coming for a purpose. Most of these people that are coming for the World Cup, the FIFA World Cup, they are coming simply because they want to watch the World Cup. They're coming to experience the process, not just to stay. And so that's it. So originally there was a 15,000 bond, they call it bond, but that bond has been lifted. It had been waived. And so it's not, I don't think they're going to stop people from coming.
Thank you very much. I don't want to keep us on this conversation for too long with Mr. Boda. Let me bring up another issue surrounding this World Cup. Is the issue with the U.S. and Iran. Given the word that was declared on Iran recently this year, there has been some questions around the safety of Iranians coming to the U.S. because they are one of the 48 participants. What's your take on that, and what do you look to happen going forward?
Fire department and EMS.
Yeah, I mean, these are issues that will kind of affect the World Cup. Political issues within our war going on in Iran and America and so forth. I'm not quite sure the Iranians are going to come to the World Cup. I'm not sure they want to participate in the World Cup. I'm not sure. That's my thought. With the current political climate between Iran and the United States, I don't think there will be any. I'm not sure they're going to come. If they might come, they might not come to the United States. Maybe that game will be scheduled outside the United States. For security and for political reasons, I don't think they will be kind of free to come here under the climate for which the U.S. and Iran find themselves in the conflict. And we might think that the current immigration coming to the United States, there are a lot of restrictions being placed on a lot of countries. And that in itself is a barrier to the process. Even though there might be say, yeah, it's been lifted or whatever political statement that has been made to clear the air, people are still afraid to come to the United States. You can see the tourism in America has dropped greatly since Trump took over in his second term. A lot of people have stopped coming. Even our Canadian neighbors don't come to the U.S. They use to flow here. That is reflected within our businesses, the hotel, restaurant, and other regulation around the United States. So what's more about the world? So we'll look forward to see what happened, what's going to happen from now to June. June is around the corner, but the spirit of the worker is not as it should. Normally it is when you see worker coming, you will see the festivity booming around, people traveling to the country, but you see currently, I don't see that yet. And the businesses are talking about it. That of money that was put into this World Cup, hotel, restaurant, the city invested a lot of money and they anticipating that they were going to get return. So we look forward to seeing that, and I hope that our president will have relax the tension more and more so that people can feel comfortable. Not just because I'm not hearing this anything much talk about the World Cup the way in terms of immigration, relaxing restrictions for people to come. I know they not want to come to stay in the United States, but nobody want to come in an environment where that is not friendly with foreigners. You don't want to come in that environment. A lot of people don't feel comfortable coming to the United States right now because of our current immigration restriction and climate. So
But I think those that are coming, they are coming legally. I think the sentiment of the immigration issue in this country is, I think, is so biased because there's a distinction between illegal and illegal immigration, and and I understand the way he goes about it. Maybe is aggravating to other people, but it also, we also should be able to distinguish what is legal and what is illegal, right? It's a country that they have here, and there are many of you here that are on the platform here, and my assumption is that you came here legally, right? You did come here legally, and the those that are against or that speak against the issue of the immigration thing, I think it made a lot of sense if you came to this country legally. It gives you a great opportunity to advance, to make a lot of advancement, to achieve something for yourself, versus coming illegally, because you will forever be on the table, you forever be struggling to have documents and stuff like that. And the immigration process is very long. Now, concerning this FIFA World Cup, the State Department is saying they're expecting about 10 million people. Now, this World Cup, yes, part of it is here in the US, but the other part of it is in Mexico, other part of it is in Canada, right? So obviously, everybody is not going to come to the US. Everybody's not going to come to the US.
Yeah, if I may interject though, the most important part of the World Cup will be in the United States. I think the semifinal, the entire semifinal, and the finals will be here in New Jersey. But to Mr. Boda point, which it seems that you partly disagree with, is that the spirit around the World Cup, from previous World Cup, the spirit we've seen around the World Cup is not being experienced, or is not being seen due to the current controversy around immigration. You can kind of expand on that, or you can clarify.
No, what I'm saying,
let me conclude. I'll give you time to finish. But it does. If you maybe you would like to disagree with Mr. Boda that the spirit is still there, or the immigration is not affecting it, or the American conflict with Iran is not affecting the overall worker spirit that we're so much used to. If you want to talk to us about that.
No, I understand every action there's some level of impact and stuff like that, positive and negative impact. So the conflict with Iran obviously has an impact. Okay, it has an impact. Maybe the people Iranian will not want to come. In fact, people that are in the Middle East or in the Arab world will not probably want to come. But what I'm saying is that the immigration policy does not squarely apply to those people that are coming. They had what they call a bond. That bond has
No, I get that. I think everybody understands that.
Yeah.
But if you can answer this question directly, do you think because of the immigration policy there is a like fear around people coming to the United States, and that is kind of like preventing us from having that walk up, the anticipation, the spirit for the walk up? Do you think that is affected by the immigration issues we're having right now?
Yeah, to some extent. I mean, to some extent. But
Okay.
understand, you should also understand the worker is coming to a place that does not even have more enthusiasm for soccer. So it's a very different if the worker is going to Europe or going to Africa, going to other places that are football fanatics versus coming to the US. So that's something that people need to understand. The US, the typical American person doesn't even understand the football, what we call football. They call it soccer. So that's something that's going on. So the momentum is not as what we would have in a football fanatics environment. That's the number one there. How many people you see advertise at soccer? How many TV you see?
Dr. Sika, I will
Yeah.
have to, and then I will have to interject another disagreement because the last World Cup was held in Qatar. The last
Yeah,
World
but
Cup was
those
held
people
in
play.
Qatar.
Those people play soccer too.
No, when it comes to exposure or for soccer, the United States got way better leagues. They're much more into soccer than people in Qatar. In South Africa, we can say the same. The MLS here is ranked more than the South African Premier League. Now, but the anticipation was still there worldwide. This is a worldwide event that people anticipate. So it can't be because soccer is not popular in the United States. That cannot be a good defense mechanism for why the spirit of the World Cup is not there. But if you say again, I would like to move on. I don't want to spend too much time on this conversation. Let's just hear from Mr. Giwe. Thank you, Mr. Giwe. Just go ahead.
Thank you, Brother Derek. I look at it in so many, fashion. In America today, and the war in Iraq has brought some fear more over the economy. And so for people to pay their way to leave their country to come, and the situation, the economy of the whole world is in limbo, people are not just pleased. Now, let's look at the facility in Pennsylvania or the hotels around Pennsylvania. Do you think we can really accommodate World Cup in Pennsylvania? That's a question. Because even Ramadan Day in this place, the hotel can be booked and filled. Eternal Festival, all the hotels in Philadelphia, sometimes you don't find none available. What more about World Cup? And if the president is skeptical about people pulling into America, yes, it might be a threat. There are reasons. Because most of the people that come in, they are Arab that America is not pleased with them. That's one of the fighters. So these are the things that playing on the whole, tournament, the World Cup, soccer in Pennsylvania. I don't think we can accommodate that. That's my observation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gill. I'd like to slightly agree with you on that because the prices of lodging and transportation has been making rounds on the airwave in Philadelphia at about overcrowdedness. And I think NJ saw a news report that said New Jersey Transit is also participating in helping more people around. So that could be partly to it, but heavy again. I have to go with Mr. Boda on this. Heavy on the spirit of the World Cup. I think the immigration plays a very huge part in it. But again, let's change gear now. Let's change gear to our local politics here in the United States, focusing directly on Liberian Community Association of Central New Jersey and the metropolitan area. As we spoke about earlier, they concluded their first and I assume only debate. As you can see on your screen right now, the timeline election is May 30th, 2026. May 17th, the debate was completed. Campaign is ongoing. Voter verification is ongoing. Voter registration is still ongoing. Verification and publication has been completed, and then the candidate registration has been completed. We have Tim Watkins and Tim Jeepley vying for the presidential seats, and they are running respective running mates. Again, I don't know if you guys follow this. I'm assuming some of you follow this. If you would like to give us your take on it, because this has to do with community leadership, we transcend into leadership in Liberia, because this is usually how they start community leadership. You like to minister in Liberia, and then boom, they're on the ticket trying to be something in Liberia. So let's talk about it. I'll let Mr. Sika, Mr. Giwe, Mr. Boda, whichever one of you want to chime in on this first. I will take your opinion. Mr. Sika.
So I don't know much about that group, so that I will reserve my comment at this point until the other guys can come in. But I don't know more about them.
Thank you very much, Mr. Giwe.
I have not really been following up, but I know about Eula, and I know Mr. Keita is the president. Is he still a president?
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Keita is still the president of Eula.
Yeah. So, well, just how Dr. Sika said he cannot comment. Right now, I've not been following up with this, election garland and what have you in Philadelphia or Pennsylvania. That's so sad. That's sad.
Thank you very much. Is the Buddha? Let me hear you.
Well, there's the Central Jersey community election that is about to be held. There have been a lot of controversy within the Trenton area, and there have been a lot of back and forth crisis, leadership crisis in that area for quite some time. From what I understand, what I have seen and observed, so the leadership of there was another guy there, Kwehi, there was Mrs. Miller, Tyler Miller, who was there then. Then calling the Watkins team and the Ghibli. Right now, it's a kind of pivotal thing going on. There's a lot going on. So it's one of those community elections that we need to pay attention to those who are in the tri-state, the Delaware, Pennsylvania, New York, and Jersey area. Because why I felt one community affects all. And what we see place in the Jersey area have always been this conflict, wherein people are not trying to unite the community. They use the community for their own political gain, to gain political popularity so that they can go back to Liberia or to assert into politics, which have become a pattern for many of our diaspora residents or within the diaspora, who usually use this opportunity to exploit their own political gain. So it's good to pay attention. And Ghibli has his team, and the Walking team. Walking is coming from the previous regime because he was vice president, and that president resigned. He took over. So, and they have been trying to reunite the community, bring back the community. And so the Ghibli team also kind of showing that they are the more elite guys, more educated. That's the kind of politics that is playing right now. So people have to be mindful. The people in the Central Jersey area and the metropolitan area how to see for themselves the truth, who is there to unite the community, what is there for them in the community. So that is what we have to pay attention to, because I observe the Trenton area. Every election they enter in court. Every time they in court, there's some sort of conflict all the time. From the time I observed the leadership in Trenton, that Central Jersey, there are not been any peaceful transition of governance. So it bothers me to see that we who in the diaspora speak about democracy, education, leadership, experience, don't exhibit that leadership pattern that we want to send home, transcend to Liberia, and we prefer to say, oh yeah, oh we know him, we are the guy in the diaspora, we have better experience. I haven't seen it in the Trenton area. And many of these people have left Trenton and gone to Liberia. Some of them were in the past government. They have been government all around. So it's a serious crisis. And I think we need to pay attention as Liberia in the diaspora, I mean the United States and in the tri-state area. So it's very important, it's critical. It's critical. Because these are things that are happening here and they transcend to Liberia. So my advice to all of us who may be connected to the Trenton area, encourage people to participate because it's going to be a part of our lives.
Thank you very much, Mr. Buddha. And I did not intend to spend so much time on this conversation because of our closeness to that proximity to that elections. I'm more resident of that area. But again, just to bring you guys up to speed, Mr. Buddha, I wholeheartedly agree with you that it's important that we follow these type of elections, especially if we're in the tri-state area, because what affects one area affects all of us. And also the local politics here, you clearly described the party. They get involved with local governance here, exploit the system as much as they can. Then before you know it, they are in Liberia running for some political office, and that has to stop. And specifically to the Liberia community, or LCA as they call it for short, it has been the case. Like you stated, they've been in and out of court for, if my memory can serve me well, over 20 years. They have elections. It doesn't go well. One side is dissatisfied. Financial issue comes up, and then they go right back to court. It has repeated this pattern almost 4 to 5 times, or maybe more. Here we are again. They are going back to elections, and there are controversies surrounding these very elections that is not being addressed. And to bring you guys up to speed, one of the elections was called after the interim president, who is currently running. He called a mediation with a group of pastors, and they had a couple of agreements. And during his campaign period, released a statement that some of those things were not being followed. And in addition to that, the elections commissioner that they appointed happens to be those very pastors that kind of play judge for their mediation. And one may argue that while the religious community may seem is peaceful, do not necessarily have the credentials to spearhead a democracy process. And that inability shows by the elections commission being very dormant and very silent during the entire elections period. They did not once make themselves available to the media for questionings on public concerns. They did not make themselves available through public statements addressing issues that were raised by both parties. And they sat back and said nothing as these issues arises, and then they schedule a debate. I've never seen any democratic process where the elections commissions first remains dormant and then schedule a debate for issues to be discussed with all themselves, answering questions, at least to the parties that are involved. And this issue still stands. The debate was concluded, and we haven't received any statement from the elections commissions on how those issues were addressed, even if, or at least if they were addressed. And we're going back into an elections. If you watch or listen to the debate recently, nothing on the issues were discussed. There was issues that had a lot of court hearing for that were discussed. They had issues about $183 not spent on the right purpose. They had issues of beds that were donated that is not being used by the previous president campaign bait in Liberia. And we did not get the chance to listen to either one of those candidates tell us their plans to resolve the disunity in the community or their plans to move the community forward. And it's disheartening because that does not move the community in any direction whatsoever. It only takes a couple of steps back, even after we have elected or whoever will be elected on in the upcoming elections. But again, that's just me bringing you guys up to speed. I do not intend for to spend any more time on this conversation unless you guys have anything else to add. I'd like to leave it to Dr. Sika, Mr. Gateway, and Mr. Boda.
Thank you, Mr. Yali. But I mean, you're talking about donation or stuff not being accounted for. What does that mean? Somebody take it, or is it for personal use, or what is it?
Well, from the collaborator with one of an organization and I'm staying corrected on this, an organization in the area, and they donated and they gave them some bed. I think the hospital gave them some bed that they were to send back to Liberia as to help out from the organization. But the previous president kept the bed in his backyard until the bed was getting the condition that it wasn't usable or wasn't safe or healthy to use. So the city had decided to trash those beds. But the interim president at the time decided that he preferred that the bed be sent to Liberia for someone to use it for it to be trashed. I think it's worth $36,000. And the community at the time did give it to the former president, and then he sent it to his foundation in Liberia, and that became a whole issue in the community. But again, I stand corrected on the details of that, but that was what I got from the debate.
Yeah, but let me just throw a light on that. I think from what I got as well, for one of the debate, the opposition party, the guy who is contesting in the election, Ghibli is the one who donated his bed to the organization because he has a non-profit organization. He donated his bed to the then Anthony Quaye, who was president, Watkins, when Watkins was vice president too. From what I gathered, the information I heard from the both sides was that the bed was donated and it was supposed to be shipped to Liberia. There was no fund to ship the bed to Liberia. So in that process, the bed was being kept behind the then President Anthony Quaye. And the committee decided because they were going to discard these bags. So the organization went to a meeting. Instead of the bed being thrown out just in the street or wherever, being dumped, said there would be a better use to Liberia. According to them, that's why I heard, quote, the committee had an election, voted, agreed to give the bed to Mr. Anthony Quaye Foundation. So the argument on the other side is that Mr. Anthony Quaye is preparing to go run for representative position in Liberia, and that, for that reason, the bed was going to him to portray election. That's the argument from the Ghibli camp. And the working camps is saying, no, that's not the case. They didn't want the bed to be disguised or being thrown out. So that conflict, like Darrell Redley said, are not being resolved thoroughly as to how that, whether the bed at this point was being sent to Liberia or where is the location of the bed are not being defined. And Mr. Watkins said, hey, he rather send the committee to agree whether the bed was Mr. Quaye carry the bed or don't carry the bed. So be it. But the committee agreed to get the bed. So I don't know at this point where is the bed. Nobody can tell us exactly where those items is being held or whether they have been shipped to Liberia. Mr. Quaye, who is the former president, he shipped his bed to Liberia or where is it? That's the question that are not being answered by either side yet.
It's very sad that we are here in the U.S. and to me, practically we are nurturing corruption, and and in that manner, because the end goal of many of us here is probably to go back home and serve one day. And if we cannot. I mean, they say charity begins at home, right? If we cannot start to be good people or be organizational leaders and foster in let's say transparency, and then when we go to a society that is very dysfunctional like Liberia, what do you think is going to happen? Right? What do you think is going to happen? I have a nonprofit organization around that, and when we get in donations, they do those that donate whatever they donate, whether money or goods, is for a purpose, right? Don't keep it around. Just send it as soon as you get it, or serve the purpose as soon as you get it. So I hope the next leadership for that New Jersey group, Liberian group, will change the dynamics of the whole thing. I think it can bring in a new leadership that will bring people together and also uh, bring in transparency. I mean, that will help to to stop the division and infighting that they have in down there. So, and I want to say this is it's not a new phenomenon in the Liberian community. It's an old phenomenon. Librarians don't work together. They don't have a common goal in an organization. They are divided, and this is affecting us. It's affecting us on every level where librarians are. The issue of working together is just something that they cannot grab. They can't get it. Two people cannot be a leader at the same time. One person must be. Somebody must lead at a period of time. When the present time is over, another person come in. But we are not like that. We are divided. For instance, I live here in Georgia, and you will see that Liberian churches here, and I will use the church as an example. You will see, I think they have about 32 churches in this little in the city here, right? The reason why they have those numerous churches are here, and when you go, you visit them, you see some of their congregation with 5, 6, 7 persons in the congregation. Okay, so the reason why they're there, they get divided themselves. Everybody want to have the title of something like that. Why can't we come together and have a one unified church and then have more power? You know what I mean? It's going to be powerful academically, financially. It's going to be powerful, and we can do something as a collective group. So I hope the new leadership that's going to come out in New Jersey will work hard and put these people together. Okay, it's not a good example for us. So I will rest my case at this point, but I mean, that's my answer.
You know, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
it's a tough situation for Liberians.
Yeah.
Because our experience here when I was refugee, even the common people that you should trust, there is no trust in our community these days. It's very, very disheartening
Yeah.
if you begin to work with them. Worst of all, people that were born in Monrovia, please do not hold me with my word, because I work with some of them and you don't trust them. The Moravians, boy, you don't trust them. I'm saying this because I work with some of them. Not only them, there are other people who have lived in Moravia and they know their way to see thing that is not belonging, is not belong there. But they do that. So as Liberia in the diaspora, it's supposed to be a clear lesson for some of us because we are then working in America. Now, one of these days, we ever have a other lucrative position to earn excess money than your salary or the rate that you're working for. Why would you do that in your own organization and do that in Liberia? So when you are living from here, it's supposed to be the representative or expatriate to show the image of the country where that the country that trained you. But you don't see that in Liberians. It's very, very sad. I know
Thank you.
that corruption is here, but it's at minimum when you are working. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you very much. I just like to briefly respond to you, Dr. Sika. I think you hit the nail on the head. We have a serious leadership crisis in our Liberian community, whether it is in the diaspora or in Liberia. Liberia, for instance, is very volatile and very fragile. So and dysfunctional. So we give that to them. But we're here in the bigger democracy. We see how these things supposed to be done the right way, but we still cannot figure out why it doesn't work for us. From every librarian organization you go to, whether it's Jersey, PA, Atlanta, or wherever, there is this serious leadership crisis that we're continuing to be faced with. Almost like we cannot figure it out. We cannot figure out when it comes to this leadership thing. And some of the reason I think is because we as librarians love to cut corners and we like to look for loopholes. It's clearly defined what we're supposed to do, and let me just make this specific to the librarian community and librarian community association. They have a constitution that I think is very silent on a lot of things, and even though it's silent, but it's clear on how things should be done. And then one person will come out and feel like they know better than the framework that several people agree to and sign, and will do things differently and then try to defend it. Now, the community has been in dysfunction for a very long period of time. If the interim or leadership decides to bring the community back to a functional way, they call on group of pastors to mediate that, to mediate the community way back to doing what it's supposed to do. Now, I personally have a problem with that because New Jersey has a whole mediation association, lesson mediator, that you can call. Since you guys have been in and out of court for so many times, call a mediator. They call a group of pastors. I feel like that's error number one. And not to go any further on it, if we can, again, I have nothing against pastors. I have people in my family that are pastors and bishops. But if we're being honest, just the Christian religions and denomination failure to even unite, that's not very peaceful, or that's nothing brags unity to me. Just within or 100 feet radius, there are a couple of churches there, same denomination, Baptist or Methodist, they cannot come together because they cannot agree, even though they have like the Bible right there that should be the guidance book for each and every one of them. They cannot agree, but that's where the Librarian Community Association look to for unity. Yeah, I'm not here to bash the Librarian community or group of pastors, but I'm saying that's the wrong way. There is a right way to do it. The fact that they feel that step number one, they were bound for chaos. And just before I switch gear, if you have an elephant in the room and you choose to not address that elephant, or you have a sore on your foot and you choose not to address that and try to cover it up, in the long run, it's gonna just give birth to more chaos. It's gonna give birth to more rotting food or stuff like that. And that's what the community is faced with. We'll cover up all of the scars we have and go into an election. Somebody's gonna win. But guess what? The community might just end up right back to where it started. But again, that's enough of that on the Librarian Community Association.
Yeah, Yale, before you go, but the pastors are part of the community. So it's like I'm a Liberian, and then eventually I become a pastor. But that does not mean that my upbringing, my orientation has changed simply because I'm a pastor at that point. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
the pastors themselves don't get along. For instance, they have a Librarian Association, a St. Pastor Association in Georgia here, and they're even divided.
Yep.
They're divided. They don't get along. Okay, they don't get along. So by the virtue of the religious, portfolio that they have, one would think that they were supposed to do the right thing, right? But that is not the case. So it's a real Liberian thing. I don't know how we can reform our orientation. I don't know how we can recalibrate at the way we see things, the way we do things. But I personally believe if you are the leader at this point, you are the leader, right? You are the leader.
Let's respect the democratic process. That's what
if you are the leader at this point, you are the leader. If I cannot help you, if I see you making blunders, if I cannot help you, then let me keep shut. Let me keep my mouth closed. Let's shut up.
Right. I agree. If we're going to turn to pastors to
So that's my thing. But it's a Liberian thing, and that affects us in everywhere. I live in the Ivory Coast, and that was the same situation there. Liberian, they couldn't get along. They couldn't get along on anything.
Yep.
So
Yeah, and I'll just end on this. If you want to call the pastors or group of pastors to supervise the way, then maybe just get a group of pastors to Mr. Boda and Bishop Hagar to that be the head for the community. In that way, the community get to move on. The same
So
way,
Mr. Boda is a pastor?
no, he got a lot of pastors.
I'm not a pastor. He's throwing a
he got
gun for me. No,
he got a lot of
Derek.
friends. He got a lot of he got a lot of friends that are bishop pastors. You know, they will not let you hear me talking like that. But anyways, let's switch. Yeah, let's take our first break. When we come back, we will get into Senator Dillon proposing remittances fees on diaspora transaction. We'll see you guys after the break.
The 250th anniversary of America in the
That's it. My producer going again.
Derek.
not playing around.
Yeah. Well, make sure two of you right.
There get tested for hepatitis.
Yeah, this is your election. You should go there and go vote.
I'll go vote. Don't worry about it.
Oh, and then-
Attention all organizations, NGOs, and social clubs in and out of Liberia. Are you tired of relying solely on social media to run your operations? An effective web platform is your most important marketing tool. And that's where Tiamat.com comes in. Hello, my Liberian people. My name is Sophia, and I want you to consider this. 53% of consumers do online research about an organization before talking to someone from that institution. That means not having a website could be costing you opportunities. Step up your game and establish a professional online presence. Introducing our web platform, designed specifically for 501c organizations, small businesses, and political organizations, social clubs, etc. At Tiamat.com, we understand how important it is to make a great digital first impression, which is why we offer you all the help needed to develop, maintain, and host NGOs and small and big organization websites by giving you a full suite of services that includes automatic billing for members, membership and visitor portals, first-class design and functionality, and much more. The best part is, it only costs $20 per month. Upgrade your image today with our customized web design services. Visit www.tiamat.com to get started. This is a Liberian-owned business.
Welcome to your new home away from home. In the heart of Margibi County, Liberia, this privately owned guest house located at Disco Hill provides a spacious home for vacation rentals, including 3 comfortably decorated bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. Here, we aim to meet the need of every one of our guests. Do you plan on hosting a meeting? Invite your team to our expansive lounging area, which is perfect for conferences. Let our attentive staff help you celebrate life's biggest moments with your loved ones in our spacious indoor and outdoor event area with chairs, tables, and all your event needs. Whether you're visiting home from abroad or right here in Liberia, we're ready to take your call. Welcome home. Call us now to book your reservation at your new home away from home. Celebrating the lives of our dearly departed loved ones is no easy task. That's why you become family the minute you walk through the doors of the Exodus Funeral Chapel. Exodus Funeral Chapel is deeply committed to helping you navigate your way through this difficult time. Our services are reliable, affordable, and professional. Call us, visit our website, or feel free to stop by in person for your consultation. At the Exodus Funeral Chapel, we believe in the dignity of your loved ones. Empathy and respect is the goal of our staff. Exodus Funeral Chapel. Empathy, respect, and dignity.
In our community, we help each other. But when it comes to prescription pain medication, such as opioids, Sharing isn't helping, it's harming. What works for you could be dangerous, even deadly for somebody else. Don't share your opioids. Instead, help by guiding your family, friends, and neighbors to a doctor. Real help saves lives. This message is brought to you by the Multicultural Community Family Services in partnership with LRTN. Did you know 1 in 4 patients who take opioids long-term become addicted? Opioids are strong pain medications like oxycodone, hydrocodone, or morphine. They can help with pain, but they can also lead to addiction and overdose. Take the medication only the way your doctor tells you to take it. And never share them with your family, friends, or neighbors. Know the risks. Stay safe. This message is brought to you by the Multicultural Community Family Services in partnership with LRTN.
At Fatu's, we know what it's like to feel a little homesick. That's why we work hard to bring you the very best and freshest imported foods and supplies from home. With quality design African cloths, beauty supplies, and tasty African food items, you'll feel right at home. So what are you waiting for? Stop by Fatu's African International Market for all of your household and family needs. See you soon. Maintaining your vehicle can be a major investment. That's why here at Brothers Auto Care, we pride ourselves on providing professional and reliable auto care at affordable rates. Whether you need an inspection, new brakes, or diagnostic reports, our skillful and experienced mechanics are here for you every step of the way. Call Brothers Auto Care now to schedule your next auto maintenance and repair service. At Brothers Auto Care, we help you drive home with peace of mind.
Hi, my name is Martha Tombe, owner of Matisia Natural Hair Salon, located on 4405 Chestnut Street. We are specializing in locks, natural hair, braids, and etc. Call us for all your natural hair needs. You can reach out at 267-703-2330. If you have pictures or videos you want to send us, you can send it to 267-224-0693.
Attention all organizations, NGOs, and social clubs in and out of Liberia. Are you tired of relying solely on social media to run your operations? An effective web platform is your most important marketing tool, and that's where Tiamet.com comes in. Hello, my Liberian people. My name is Sophia, and I want you to consider this. 53% of consumers do online research about an organization before talking to someone from that institution. That means not having a website could be costing you opportunities. Step up your game and establish a professional online presence. Introducing our web platform, designed specifically for 501c organizations, small businesses, and political organizations, social clubs, etc. At Tiamet.com, we understand how important it is to make a great digital first impression, which is why we offer you all the help needed to develop, maintain, and host NGOs and small and big organization websites by giving you a full suite of services that includes automatic billing for members, membership and visitor portals, first-class design and functionality, and much more. The best part is, it only costs $20 per month. Upgrade your image today with our customized web design services. Visit www.tiamet.com to get started. This is a Liberian-owned business.
Did you know 1 in 4 patients who take opioids long-term become addicted? Opioids are strong pain medications like oxycodone, hydrocodone, or morphine. They can help with pain, but they can also lead to addiction and overdose. Take the medication only the way your doctor tells you to take it. And never share them with your family, friends, or neighbors. Know the risks. Stay safe. This message is brought to you by the Multicultural Community Family Services in partnership with LRTN. In our community, we help each other. But when it comes to prescription pain medication, such as opioids, sharing isn't helping, it's harming. What works for you could be dangerous, even deadly for somebody else. Don't share your opioids. Instead, help by guiding your family, friends, and neighbors to a doctor. Real help saves lives. This message is brought to you by the Multicultural Community Family Services in partnership with LRTN.
Hi, my name is Theophilus Jilipan Nelson I. I am the founder and CEO of Lift Africa LLC. Lift Africa started as an employment agency that sought the employment of immigrants coming to the U.S. and finding ways and means to go to start life in this great your country. Now we have added airport pickups and drop, car rental, or rental. As you see, we have a new business location. Started with just a little office part, but today we have a whole complex that we can do a lot of stuff with.
Hello everyone, my name is Geneva Krantz. I'm the Executive Administrator of Uplift Africa. We have an excellent employment rate at our company. We work with and for you regardless of your situation. If you've ever been in prison, maybe your background isn't great, do not worry. We have a place for you here. We believe in equal opportunity for everyone, especially you. So sign up today and begin earning.
My name is Emmanuel B. Horton, Operational Director for Live Africa. Live Africa is the place to be.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Liberia Radio and Television Network. This is episode 94 of the Hard Zone. My name is Derek Yale, and I'm here with my team of panelists, Dr. Ben Sika, Mr. Matthew Boda, and Mr. Alan Gateway. Now, let's get right into this development coming out of Liberia District, not district, but Massarauga County, Liberia. Senator Abraham Darius Dillon today proposed a Remittance Fees Act for the House of or the Senate to vote on it and hopefully pass it, requesting that every transaction from the diaspora has a $1 remittance fees before it gets to Liberia. Again, there has been a lot of controversy surrounding this, especially from those in the diaspora, saying that this will make matter worse or make them spend more money to Liberia because they will be putting it in government official pocket, and there is not a clear or description on how that extra money will be spent or how their heavy salary or the money budgeted for them is being spent in the interest of the Liberian people. And Liberia has made known their imports, stating that it will make stuff difficult for them or their relatives in the diaspora will send less money or not or no money at all. And this is just ridiculous according to them to charge extra fees for what guys no one knows the reason. But again, let me bring this to my panelists or chime me on this. Tell us what you think. The $1 fees, do you think it's a big percentage? Do you think this is wise? Do you think Senator Dillon actually got it right or wrong this time? I'd like to start with you, Mr. Boda. Talk to us. $1 remittances fees.
Well, I don't know the details of the bill, and taxing remittances to Liberia. I don't know what is his mindset. What led to that? Because we in the diaspora, or whoever remitting money to Liberia is supporting, giving back to the revenue in our country, supporting the economy in an immense way. So what is the essence of the dollar fees? Is that fee going to be, is it for a specific developmental tax, or it be taxing for the dollar we are going to be taken from remittances are going to go towards this purpose? I don't know. I don't know the nuances of the bill, Mr. Honorable Dillon is proposing. So I don't want to just make statement here until I can read the bill, his proposed bill. But taxing people sending money to Liberia, I don't think it's a wise idea at this time. But I don't know what is the essence, because the money that we send here has already been taxed. The very bank already charging fees to collect this money. So is that fees government not getting anything within that? I don't know. But I've yet to see the bill before I can make any comment or support an idea or not, or disagree with an idea. I don't know what is in the package.
Thank you very much, Mr. Boda. Just for clarification, a summary of the bill that were proposed, the remittances fees will go to government officials, specifically or lawmakers, to carry out development in their various districts or county. And he is asserting that this is a diaspora contribution to national development. But again, you can always read the entire bill. But let's hear
Wait. Let me hear what you said. It goes to what, the Bureau County for developmental purpose?
It goes to lawmakers to carry out development in their respective districts and counties. Thank you. Let's have Dr. Sika to chime in on this.
So the sponsor of this bill, the person that initiated the bill is I think Darrell Dillon. So the idea is not a bad idea, because I read about situation of this thing about a remittance in another developing country, that is in Asia, Bangladesh area there. So I think he got the idea from somewhere and tried to introduce a bill, which it makes sense. But then the caliber of people that are trying to propose this bill is another issue. And their argument, or their argument about this is that this particular money will go towards a development. They established an act, what they call a Diaspora Development Fund Act. Okay. And through that act, remittances are already going. But when they get on the ground, and $1 must be the structure for it. And that $1 will go towards the Diaspora Development Fund as a contribution from people that are from the diaspora. So that's what they're trying to propose. And I don't know whether it will pass or it will not pass. So the idea, they claiming that money will be taken and to go toward development initiative and reconstruction. So these fancy words, they look more enticing, but then they should be backed up with sincerity, transparency, and accountability. And I cannot see that there. But two, diaspora Liberians are not the only people that are sending money back home. Other countries have been doing it. And so Liberians have been contributing a lot of money to that country down there. But on the other hand, other countries like Nigeria here in 2025, the country of Nigeria, about 21 to 23 billion dollars they contributed to their economy. That's a very large portion of their GDP. The same thing happened to Ghana, was $7.8 billion was contributed last year. In the case of Liberia, it's about $500 million was contributed, in the range of $500 million contributed. Previous years, it was about $800 million. So we are already contributing to the GDP of that country. To me, I don't think we need extra money to be given to other people for development purpose. They have the resources of our country. They are in charge of it. They make the decision how the resources can be extracted and expanded. They have this ability. They don't need money from us because we are already sending money back home there. They are mismanaging the resources there. If Mr. DeLong will be very honest to himself, if he can reduce his own salary or all of them can reduce their salary, that will help towards the development thing. But you can't tax money that is already coming from here, going to our struggling people that are on the ground. You don't get money from out of there in the name of development. And that's what my problem is. Okay, he must have gotten the idea from somewhere, which of course it makes sense, but they themselves, they need to start with themselves. You're earning a lot of money and then a lot of benefits. Why are you focusing on people in the diaspora to do something about it? The development in our country, yes, we have a role to play, but they have our resources. They are the masters of our resources. They are the ones that control our resources down there. They need to manage it. They need to be the stewards and manage our resources and so that we can carry on development in the country. So I don't know who are going to debate that particular proposal, but I think it will crumble. That's my understanding. It's going to crumble.
Thank you. Let's take the input of Mr. Giwa, and then I'll come back to you, Mr. Dr. Sika, with my question. Mr. Giwa, let's hear from you.
Thank you, my dear brother. Senator DeLong is not sincere senator in Liberia. He is speaking out of his mind. Why should I say that? Every cent that we send to Liberia to our relative, loved one, we pay taxes already. And this organization also remit or pay taxes to Liberian government. One more, and some of the things that we send it to people in Liberia are gift. Some of them want to go to a hospital. Some of them want to buy bakery. Then you, a senator, that making 15 United States dollars every month. Then you having almost 100,000 for development fund for your constituency or your state or country. Let me put this. Then you asking for dollar for legislator money, and that money is already been remitted by the government to use for you guys to use in your community. It's already there for them. You know, I remember Edwin Snow, our seminar proposal like that lawmaker, when you are even out of power, you should be receiving that amount. And they've been receiving it. It's wrong. It's wrong. So what Senator DeLong is saying, I don't think it's something to listen to. He's not a good person. Development, constituency development money, county development money, the county receive it. Then they also gave them money to develop, they gave them agriculture's money, then they gave them development money for their constituency. What more you want? This is a senator that entered in parliament that is going to reduce his salary. He first started rejecting, but he receives everything that they gave to him now. So he is not a sincere man. So government receive money transfer that we send, government receive from that institution, that financial institution. They remit something to LRA. So one more. So I am very sorry the Liberian people should not listen to him. For that proposal or bill to pass into law, that dollar should be taken out of 25 cents that we're saying in Liberia. It's very, very, he should be ashamed of himself. There is
Thank
a
you.
dropout.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gilbert. Let me come back to you, Dr. Sika. When we covered the Liberia Diaspora Conference in Virginia, some part of last year, I think the beginning of this year, diaspora Liberians here in the U.S. and some of whom were visiting from Europe, requested to the president that they want to have a full participation in the affairs of Liberia. Don't you think it's prudent that a senator will propose that diaspora Liberia contribute to the development of Liberia? Do you oppose to that idea of them financially contributing to the development by having at least $1 taken from every transaction they send to Liberia? They send to Liberia. Don't you think that is a move in the right direction of having diaspora Liberian fully engaged with the developmental process in Liberia? As it would, Liberian pay taxes and get development, diaspora Liberian contribute remittances fees, and then they get development. Do you oppose to that idea?
Yes, I would say yes, I oppose to the proposal. I think the proposal is not doing justice to the people in the diaspora and also people on the ground. For instance, if I took $5 and I sent it to my sister in Monrovia there, and if this proposal were to pass, I sent $5 to that Monrovia there for my sister, whereas she had to go and buy her rice to eat or pay her child school fee, and you taking a $1 from there, right? It's not fair to her. It's not
Send
fair.
$20 then.
And
send $20. Then she only got to lose $1.
No, I mean whatever you send,
because
the idea of getting money out of what you standing for somebody is wrong. Liberians are already contributing to the economy. So the money is circulating there. You have been here. If you went to check your stand with your Western Union, you have sent thousands of dollars to that country.
I sent 80-some more thousand.
Okay, that money is circulating. Is part of the GDP. Okay, and that GDP is where determined. That's where it's a higher GDP at that point, and where their salary is determined. Based on that, their salary is determined, and all these things that are going on. Why a little senator in that place there will take 100,000 plus with so many benefits? So Mr. Delon should not do that to our people. And over the years, I had some level of admiration for him, but he's slipping up.
Exactly.
He's slipping up. I don't know what power has overcome him. But I told him, I thought he was one of the rising star, a young rising star for Liberia for transparency and integrity. But he has failed miserably in a few years, since few years now. So the proposal doesn't make any sense. It does not. Because the money we send in here, we send it for our people to do something, for ourselves to do something. That money is circulating in that place. Why do you take another money? Number two, he's talking about what that proposal is going to cover: agriculture, healthcare, education. Okay, those things are what they're going to cover. But what is our money, the resources that is, what is our general income that are coming from in that place there? What does it go to us? They have a budget of $1.7 billion. So we're not supposed to be sponsoring education. Most of the money that people send home, they send home because of our people don't have job, no investor coming in. These are the things they need to work on. And then when these investors come, we will have more revenue, and they can carry on a development. But you can't forget your obligation, and then you want to circumvent the whole process by just going somewhere to take money from there, simply because you want to carry on development. Number two, we have a transparency issue in the country there. Any money that get in those people's hands, you will never see any better record of it. Okay, so that's my opposition to this.
Thank you.
It's wrong. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's bring it back to Mr. Boda. I'm sure he seems like he reserving his comments. But I'll bring it back to you. What do you think, Mr. Boda? This is your administration. This is your guy. This is Wisdom Basket.
Well, Dylan, I think, like everyone said earlier, the bill doesn't make sense to me. I don't see it making sense for me to tax diaspora. I mean, labor in it build diaspora development fund. If you want to tax remittances going to the country, don't labor diaspora on it. I think if the government want to tax any remittances going to Liberia, there's going to be a fund taken from there for whatever developmental fund. I mean, you should make that known. I mean, labor in it as diaspora is like targeting a particular group of people, and that does not sound well for me. So if you are not a diaspora, what happened? The money you send to Liberia will not be taxed. So how he determine who diaspora, who is in diaspora? Because somebody send money to Liberia, you're diaspora. Is that his argument? You're Liberian. So Mr. Dillon needs to rethink his bill. If you want to do something in terms of development, if you want to have a consolidated idea with the Liberian diaspora, I think it would make sense that, look, we can say, hey, can we, Liberian in the diaspora, can we have a developmental fund or something that we can all agree on here? If the diaspora are going to say, look, government proposing a bill in consultation with the Liberian diaspora or Liberian organization in the diaspora to see, hey, how we can target certain developmental thing, how can we contribute towards that? And how can they contribute towards that? And we can have a dialogue and say, look, we as a Liberian in the diaspora want to contribute this amount. And that fund, we can have a commission that will oversee that fund in consultation with the Liberian government and target a certain project. That makes sense to me. But targeting us because we're sending money to Liberia, it's like we're being punished for sending money to Liberia. You know, we are supporting the economy in various aspects. The healthcare that he talked about, the education he talked about, we're paying school fee for kids, family member, pay medical bills, buy food, pay rent. Every sector of the Liberian community, the diaspora is putting money into every sector. So for him to propose a bill, it doesn't make sense to me. I think Dillon is getting all of his heads. He needs to rethink his being in the Senate. Fight for what the money that you people are spending wrongly, the resources that are not being managed. I think that's why he should focus his attention. So I'm not in agreement with him on that one. I mean, I think he's getting it wrong.
Thank you very much, Mr. Boda. We are past the 1 hour 30 minutes mark. I have a lot of questions on this particular conversation, but I have to take you guys' final input and then take a final break and then give a closing on this one. But again, I'd just like to add to what Mr. Boda, Mr. Gateway, Dr. Sika on this bill. I think this is like one commenter posted on and posted on social media. This is a slap in the Liberian people face, not just, especially those of us that are in the diaspora. Again, it's also like a payback because what sense does it make if you cannot give account of the money you are currently receiving and in the interest of development, but you're not asking of more money, not just more money, but money that were intended for the very people of which you're supposed to pass bills into laws that will affect their lives directly. This is insane. But then again, this is the liberal legislature. That's where we get to spend our taxpayer money, paying legislature for them to propose a bill or an act that is that insane. And no disrespect to the senator, but there's no way to spin this that will make sense. You haven't even answered the question on how diaspora can be directly involved with your body politics. You haven't given them voting rights, but now you're taking the money they're sending.
That's another thing. Yeah,
right. You haven't done none of that, but now you are asking them to give you some of the money they're sending to their relatives. And these lawmakers think Liberian people are, as they know, just for lack of better terms, stupid. And Liberian people are not stupid. Some of all, the huge majority of us might be illiterate, but those of us that can logically think will strongly condemn and criticize when such a foolishness comes from our legislature. But again, I will have more to say on this on our next show. I'll give you guys the opportunity to give any final comments, and then we will take our final break and then close this out because we're way past the hour 30 minutes mark.
I mean, on that, let me say this. I think DeLong should remain in his lane. I think he's serving in on a committee of foreign affair or something, foreign affair on the committee there in the Senate there. That should be his place. Now he's getting out of that place and talking about money. That is a total different thing. Okay, so there are very good issues like the one you talk about our voting rights. And when you see our people down there, they don't even, they only think about us when it comes to money. But when it comes to other things, they think that we are strangers, right? They don't properly regard us as being part of the society and have some level of obligation to have a say for the future of that particular society. So I would strongly suggest that Mr. DeLong withdraw that bill. And I'm seeing here, I'm just reading on the Facebook, they're trying to do damage control about that particular proposal there. So I think it's not going to go anywhere. I don't think it's going to survive. Okay, so we already sending money there. Minus all the remittances that people send, Liberians send in Liberia there. If we minus that, the economy is going to collapse. The whole economy there is going to collapse. Okay? Now we're talking about last year, we're talking about $500 million that went last year. If you subtract it from down there, obviously that's nothing going to be left. So they don't have to be talking about that kind of stuff. Let them manage the little resources that they have there and put it to use. I think that would be the best thing, the route to go. Than for them to even think about getting money out of people here or getting money from our people that are being transmitted to them. That's not fair at all. So that's what I want to say. Maybe other people have other things to say, but I think they don't need to withdraw that bill.
Yeah, as you rightly said, that is secret. Look, DeLong, you're the Committee of Foreign Affairs, and they are put in the finance area, and the revenue sector of the country should be coming from the finance ministry, the commerce, and other areas who are actively involved with finances, managing our resources, or how revenue is collected. And there are a lot of bills that DeLong could be thinking about. That I think he need to think about something better than attacking diaspora Liberians. So like you rightly said, you need to withdraw that bill, and I think we need to push back hard on that bill because Liberian diaspora, Liberian across, and even Liberian at home need to push back on that bill. It doesn't make sense because they're trying to find a way to scupper that money again so that they receive $30,000. $30,000 Liberian have for agriculture farm for themselves. We, Liberian, the taxpayer, pay legislatures to make farm for themselves. I think that one bill that they need that one money that they need to take back from them. That's a lot of money that goes to legislature, agriculture fund. I never understood how you give somebody $30,000 for agriculture, pay them to make farm for themselves. And the Liberian people need to wake up. The dealers need to put that money back in the coffer. We're giving them so much money that can be utilized to do other things. The dealer said in Monrovia, and I don't know where in Mother Valley guy if we gotta pay for his farm. Those are money that go to them every year. And LeBron put in the worker. The farmer in the rural district that's supposed to, who are making farm, there is not incentive going to farmer in the district. But that money go directly to them from the legislature to collect that check. They don't even live in the rural district that they represent.
Never.
They don't live there. They don't know how the people, what goes on there. And it's saddening to note that these people got no conscience about the people they represent. It's sad, and the Liberian people need to wake up. If they don't wake up, these guys will continue to put in the deeper hole.
Thank you, Mr. Boda. Mr. Gilwell, let's chime in, please.
I just followed the same way you got. One time, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf told Liberian people that the lawmaker or the legislator taking themselves about the Liberian people. So it's exactly what is going on. Creating your own salary, and you have cook, you have this, they're serving you. Like the common Liberian people are suffering, and people are remitting $25, $5 to them. You say that dollars should be taken from there for legislative, development. That's. Are you talking to people in Liberia to listen? The law, I think, is enough for him. If he doesn't fit in that position, let him step down. Somebody else can do better than him. He's not fit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gilwell, and the rest of you panelists for your contribution tonight. Let's take our final break, and when we come back, I'll ask you guys for your closing on this segment again. See you after the break.
Attention all organizations, NGOs, and social clubs in and out of Liberia. Are you tired of relying solely on social media to run your operations? An effective web platform is your most important marketing tool, and that's where Tiamat.com comes in. Hello, my Liberian people. My name is Sophia, and I want you to consider this. 53% of consumers do online research about an organization before talking to someone from that institution. That means not having a website could be costing you opportunities. Step up your game and establish a professional online presence. Introducing our web platform, designed specifically for 501c organizations, small businesses, and political organizations, social clubs, etc. At Tiamat.com, we understand how important it is to make a great digital first impression, which is why we offer you all the help needed to develop, maintain, and host NGOs and small and big organization websites by giving you a full suite of services that includes automatic billing for members, membership and visitor portals, first-class design and functionality, and much more. The best part is, it only costs $20 per month. Upgrade your image today with our customized web design services. Visit www.tiamat.com to get started. This is a Liberian-owned business.
Welcome back, all of you, to the Liberian Television Network. This is our final segment for episode 94. Thank you for staying with us. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, this is the segment where we have our panelists give you their closing statements on the episode and the discussions that were held here today. Anyways, just to give you a summary of what we discussed, we firstly talk about the upcoming World Cup and the politics, or some will say controversy, surrounding it, immigration, and the conflict in the Middle East with the United States. You heard our panelists' opinion on and their position on that. And we also pivoted to talking about local politics, the upcoming and critical elections in Central Jersey and the metropolitan area. And lastly, we talk about the proposed bill by the senator from Montserrat County, Senator Darius DeLong. And so now we would like to end on that, and we will be here next week for another enticing conversation. Before I go over to our panelists for their closing statement, let me just bring you this very important announcement that will be happening May 21st at 5 p.m., between 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. At 6900 Limber Avenue, Philadelphia, PA 19142 as a zip code. And this is a business forum, and the Librarian Association PA or LAB will be in collaboration with U.S. Liberia Chamber of Commerce in PA to do a business forum. And that forum will feature speakers on international business engagement, funding access, grant loans, NGO formation, the affinity program with small businesses only in Philadelphia. Again, make sure you join that program tomorrow at the time, and locations, because yours only, LRTN, will be there to cover that event. With that being said, let me come back to you, panelists. Again, thanks to all of you for your contribution here. As always, you guys bring a lot to the Horizon family. It wasn't much of Waka today, but it was still a very, very enticing conversation.
Thank you.
Hopefully, we get to keep the show that way, because the less we talk about Waka, the more productive or progressive Liberia gets. But let's start with Mr. Gilbert, and then we will take Mr. Boda, and then Dr. Sika will lead us out of here.
Thank you so much, my dear brother. Again, well, the situation, let me start with the World Cup in Philadelphia, though I don't see the momentum because I don't see it. But however, the people in the diaspora, about I don't know how many teams are coming. And we hoping to welcome them in brotherly love city, Philadelphia. And the president of this country should make every reasonable means for sport lovers to enter in this country. Moreover, let me look at the Liberian community, EULA. EULA is one of the oldest Liberian organizations in this country. EULA would have been doing better than what they're doing right now. And the same mindset to go and rob the people in Liberia, they are establishing it here. That's why things has not been going right with us in this organization. We should show to the Liberian people, because most of the people that are coming from here, they want to live in Liberia. You should show your image like expatriate that is representing a corporation from the United States or abroad. That's how you should behave. But you should not practice to go and corrupt the system again in Liberia. We have to put stop to that. Moreover, the bill that was introduced in Liberia by Brother DeLong, he has to think and rethink and re-strategize what he wants. But to take dollar from poor Liberians that they are begging and some of them can cry on phone, that is insane. It doesn't make sense to us, neither to himself. He cannot have some echo for himself. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gilbert, for your contribution here today. We truly appreciate you every time you appear on the show, and we would like to again say thank you. We keep in mind that you are now a nationalist and now a supporter of the current administration. Well, let's hear from Mr. Boda.
Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. Look, it's quite interesting. I mean, when it comes to Liberia, there's always some drama and some tilt that we have to follow. When people begin to lose their mind, began to, that ego. Dylan ego is calling his what he went to the Senate for, to fight for the people, protect the people, fight for the right of the people. And he had begun to punish diaspora Liberians who are contributing to the sources of the economic growth of Liberia. And the poor people who are there receiving handout from their family just to meet ends meet. It's sad and it's insane that Darrell Dillon would think in that direction to tax the people, the money that will be sent to people to take dollar from them. Because you're not taxing me. Because if I get somebody $5 and you're going to take $1 from it, they're going to have $4. Is that what you want to do to the people who you think you're representing? It's sad. And to speak to the worker, our immigration, our not being friendly currently, the United States, people don't see us as being friendly with people coming to our country. The president fight for illegal immigration is a different fight, but some of the policies he has put in place have made it harder for people who want to come here. They feel afraid. The ICE thing, you come into the country, I don't know who is watching FIFA, and with our color, looking at people from that look, it makes it hard for a lot of people who want to come here. They're kind of afraid to come in, so it's hard. And that's going to take a lot of flavor from this festivity that goes on around the world that is more celebrated by everybody, and they bring unity. So I hope that Mr. Trump and his government will kind of think in our light and relax some of the restriction on people coming in. I mean, you got a lot of tools in your toolbox that you can use to navigate through to get these people who coming in, so that some of them will not sneak in and stay here. I know it's difficult. Some people come with different intent. But normally these programs, these festivities are meant to bring the world together, to unite, and we have been seen as the play of freedom. So I hope that he will listen to some of the cry of the people, especially the business community is crying because they invested a lot of money into this World Cup that they were going to make some huge revenue, and it's affecting the city. So I hope we can look at that. And for Liberia, diaspora, let us stay in the Liberian people. I hope they will rise again, Mr. Dillon bill. This is not a good bill for them because it's going to punish them. So that's my take on that.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Boda. Thank you for your contribution here as always. Dr. Ben Sika, you can take us home.
Yeah, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for this edition. So the election for the Liberian in New Jersey area there, I think we need to keep a close eye on it and see the outcome of it. And my advice to any of them that will win, make everything possible to unite the community, put away personal hurt, your personal feeling. When you emerge as the leader or the president or the winner of any competition, then you have a big obligation to unite that particular group. So that would be my advice to him and those who will not be able to win. Every competition has a winner, but that does not mean because you did not win, you are not part of the organization, you're still part of the organization. And give your support in any way your support is needed. And also let us avoid just discussing leaders. We discuss leaders so much to the point that we undermine the collective effort of any organization we find ourselves in. So that would be my advice to whoever wins that election. Make sure you reconcile the society and make sure you try to bring the society together. Concerning FIFA game will not be in this country, will not be as the enthusiasm, the excitement of it may not be the same flavor that we have in other countries. But the State Department is saying that they're expecting about 10 million people to come to attend this. So let's see what it's going to be like, and let's give them the benefit of the doubt. The immigration, the bond that they have for people that are coming, I think, be waived. So I think there will be other people that will be able to come. In reference to Mr. Darius Dillon proposal about remittances, $1 contribution to national development, there, I think is a slap in the face of the Liberian people. It's something meant to punish our people, because that is not fair. I would say 80% or 75% of our people down there, they are struggling, and so many of them depend on the remittances from this country, and most of them, the remittances go toward just daily consumption issues. Some want small money to buy the rice. Someone send their children to school. Someone hospital money. Those, they are not asking for any other thing that is major. The reason is that because they are poor, they don't have any income, and they don't have any income. So whatever they get from here is just to help to pass by. How insane would that be for anybody to propose that a $1 should be taken out, or taken out of any amount that's been remitted there for national development? The ordinary Liberian people are not responsible for the national development. The reason why they are not responsible is that they don't have control of our resources. These are our leaders that are in charge, that have control of our resources. They're supposed to make decisions that are very good decisions that will help to preserve our resources, be a stewards to our resources. They are not doing it. They don't got his children here. Youngly down there got her children here. All of them got their children here. A little child that is in Maryland that is supposed to go to school, that's sitting down in the dust there, no desk there. The teacher has not gotten any other salary, but you earn a big fat salary down there with a lot of benefits. But your children is in a Western country, and that little child is not getting any better education. And the only thing that you would think about is to diaspora people should be one cent toward development. Why couldn't you think that, okay, all the senators need to cut down their salaries? That should be the first step. So these things, these are all country boys that cried a few years ago that the Congo people were doing this, the Congo people were doing that. Now they are in power, they are forgetting the whole thing that we were talking about. And the very thing they accuse the Congo people for, that's the same thing they are doing. Dillon should be ashamed of himself to even propose this. Okay, I hear him these days. I hear him talking nonsense about issue. These people in a place that they can't even afford places to stay. They went and break their houses down, and some of them living in the street in the name of development. They didn't even compensate some of them. But if he was the Dillon man that also sitting out on the radio stations talking about that, they should break those people's stuff down. You can't do that to your people. These are the same very people he went to humbly, in a subtle way, a few years ago, and they elected him. They sat in the rain, they stood in the rain, they in the sun, and they voted for him. Is that all you can give back to them? Something fundamentally wrong with the Liberian circuits. So I will end this file, but for me, I totally oppose that particular bill there. I hope many Liberians will understand the concept of it. It's not against the government, but it's against the whole idea of just trying to get money, and they get money, and the ordinary people not, they just their condition not getting anywhere. So that's I will stop this file. But thank you for inviting me to this platform. And if I haven't, anytime you invite me, if I have a time, I will come there. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ben Sika. It's been a very, very enticing show you today. Of course, I'll always appreciate your contribution. And that to the rest of you, and to those of you watching us on YouTube, on Instagram, and here on Facebook, thank you so much for joining us this day and for this episode. Please remember that we will be back here next week, same time, same network. So again, before I close or draw the curtain to this one, let me just add to the conversation, just a brief summary on the issues of the upcoming World Cup, the World Cup. if the FIFA was what it used to be, consistent and fair, the United States will not be participating in these upcoming elections in the interest of fairness and in the interest of consistency. And I say that to say, when Russia declared war on Ukraine, Russia was immediately eliminated from the World Cup qualification process. And the United States was scheduled to host the World Cup. They were fully aware of that when they declared war on Iran that is still ongoing. In the interest of fairness, the FIFA should have eliminated the United States from the World Cup and also scheduling all of the matches that were originally playing here to either Canada, Mexico, or another destination. But we know how this is. FIFA has become mockery of what the governing body of football used to be. But it is unfortunate. So the issues surrounding immigration, the issues surrounding Iranian player or the fans' safety, and all of that, I believe, is a non-issue because the United States should not have been hosting the World Cup anyways. Now, moving on to the issues within our local politics, Liberian community associations. We've seen this before. Y'all got a playbook of disunity. Y'all got a playbook of mere arrogance and ignorance in a way. So y'all will go to the elections. The elections, I feel many should boycott. So I can say this straight up because on elections in a democratic process that is not free is guaranteed to not be fair. As it is, you're charging people a fee, $30 United States dollars to be fair to participate in the elections. That's foolishness. That's nonsense. That does not align with what democracy should look like. Elections are meant to be free to guarantee fairness and vice versa. So the elections not being free, you cannot guarantee us or the inhabitants of your jurisdiction that elections will be fair. It is in that light that I'm calling many that what are interested in participating in the elections to boycott because it does not follow the logic of democracy. Now, the people of the diaspora or specifically Montserrat County that are under Senator Darius DeLong, you just received one of the strongest slaps in your face from any one of your senators in a very long time. And to those of us in diaspora, that slap is extended to us. But you can answer back to the senator in 2029 because he will be coming back to you to ask for your vote. But as for now, that bill does not really deserve its place in national discourse. But unfortunately, this is what we are. We got to settle for crumbs. We got to settle to talk about insanity because no one in the red mind will propose such a bill. So again, respond to Senator DeLong in 2029. With that being said, this is the Liberia Radio and Television Network. My name is Derek Galley. This is episode 94 of The High Zone. We will see you next week, same time, same network.